internet. Today, I'm going to be a little bit narcissistic, or more narcissistic than usual. The other day I wrote the first page of my autobiography, which will soon become apparent, but I'm just going to read it to you, and if you could let me know what you think. I've showed it to a few people already, but I don't know. I'm still working out whether or not I should bother carrying on with it. So, yeah, here we go. One of the most common pieces of writing advice is to write what you know. This is fine if you're adventurous and have a multitude of brave friends to accompany you on your countless quests to beat the bad guys, and you're also for some reason inherently likeable and probably iron in appearance. You can get away with writing a memoir of that time you walked across Asia to the Marianas Trench and swam to the bottom to retrieve some lost weapon you needed in order to defeat an awful tyrant monster thing. But the weapon almost consumed you with its dark power, and if not for your stout heart and courage, it would have succeeded, and the tyrant monster thing would have won. But what if you don't know anything cool or interesting? What if you're so lacking in imagination that you can only draw on your own experiences to help you write your magnum opus? I have very few identifying traits. I lost the biological lottery, I'm a teenager, I am gay, and the only career I have ever found myself pursuing is that of a writer. A fiction writer, specifically, but as you can see, it's difficult to write fiction when your imagination can barely come up with a bog-standard fantasy plotline, let alone a glorious masterpiece befitting of your pride. Another piece of writing advice from Kurt Vonnegut Jr. is another thing. Make terrible things happen to your characters. Well, since I'm here, I might as well let you know all the terrible things that have happened to me. But first, you should have a little context. At the time of writing, I am 18 years old, over halfway through my A-levels and floundering in a sea of things I need to do, because the tiny island of things I have done was about as large as your average duck pond and has since then sank. I'm currently on 100 milligrams of antidepressants every day, which make me feel as though I've had a whole hole punched through my stomach. My father has Hodgkin's lymphoma, a type of blood cancer. My peers often put their foot in their mouth and accidentally send me spiralling down a slide of "nobody understands me" teenage angst. Except I can't tell them this because I know it's an honest mistake and I don't want them to feel bad, because I already feel bad, and the least I can do is keep it to myself and maybe prevent some kind of plague of sad. But it's not all bad. I find writing keeps me calm, and it's nice to know I'm in complete control over what I tell you, or withhold, or prompt you to reach your own conclusions on. That's kind of nice, and I hope you do reach your own conclusions on this and tell me about them. I'd really like to know. I have a boyfriend who's among the best people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting, but I'll leave him out of this for the most part because this is not his story, it's mine. And while I am aware that our stories are tangled up to some degree, I don't feel comfortable spilling his guts alongside my own. He can do that himself if he likes. My friends, though occasionally their mouths run faster than their brains, are also among the best people I've ever had the pleasure of meeting. They encourage me to be a better person and never fail to tell me when I am being ridiculous, and I could not be writing this without their nudging me to do so. Because, apparently, I have a really interesting life to outsiders. I suppose I can see why it might be interesting to them, but I still do not feel as though it is enough of a commodity to warrant an entire book. But I'll try and ensure the time spent reading this incomplete story is not time you consider to have wasted, and I apologise in advance if it doesn't live up to your expectations. So there's your context. I'm a teenage writer with an allegedly interesting life, and so far absolutely no proof to substantiate this claim. That is on the way, my dear, don't worry. I just would like to make it absolutely clear that the stories I'm about to tell you are completely true. I will not sugarcoat them, I will not exaggerate the truth, though I may relate my feelings at that moment to you in the name of full disclosure. I will change the names and maybe rearrange the timeline to make for easier reading, but I hope you will understand before you read on that this is my life. No matter how much I indulge you, you will never know all there is to know about me, and I will keep it that way. I'm inviting you to listen to what I am willing to tell you and comment where you see fit. I am not inviting you to pry. What you read here will be what I am comfortable broadcasting. There you go, there's the first page. I'm not sure about that last paragraph, it is a bit sort of dickheady, but yeah, if you could let me know what you think. I don't know whether I should bother carrying on writing it. I will see you tomorrow, my darlings.